Hey guys, welcome back to another stream over Land and Chelsea. Oh shit, did I? Oh no, okay. It said it was live, and I was like, I could have sworn I was recording this, but it's recording.
It is recording. 100%. Don't worry about it.
It's
I
been
can
a
I
while.
can
Like I
tell.
don't know, I don't
That
know why.
happens to me sometimes as well, but you just have to have faith in the box that you ticked.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. Matisse and I started recording this and then uploading it versus a live because it's a little bit quicker, and I'm trying to give you like more digestible content. And then when there's like tons to talk about, then we can go live. But yeah, it's going to be about 15-20 minute episode versus like an hour live stream. And Matisse is a busy man as well. He's been all over the place, and he's
Tired man. That hay
backstage like.
fever.
He's like, I can't wait to post just once a day. And I was like, are you joking? Like, that's the max that I do. Like,
The
but
madness.
geez, thanks so
Mm,
much for joining. As always, massive game coming up against United. I feel like it's been a while. I haven't looked into the stats yet. Maybe you have,
mm.
but I feel like it's been a while since we've beaten them.
Yeah, we haven't beaten them at Old Trafford since 2013. It's really
I knew
bad.
you would know the stats. You
It's
probably,
bad. It's bad. It's bad. Everybody's been
that's
telling me
crazy.
it's not good. It's not good. Everybody's been, and to be honest, I can't. I couldn't remember a win at Old Trafford in ages, so I'm not really surprised. Um, we're not good against them. I mean, our record against Ollie with Lampard was really poor as well. I remember the 4-0 defeat on the first game for
Oh,
Lampard. I remember
that was
the
so
defeat.
frustrating because
Yeah.
we didn't even play that well and we didn't play that poorly. It was
Mm.
just like I remember like being like this scoreline feels really harsh.
Yeah, it was harsh. I remember the defeat in the Carabao Cup. I think at home, Rashford scored a free kick. I remember
The
Pogba and Martial scoring at the
overstages.
bridge.
Yeah.
We dropped points home to them this season as well, Sancho. So yeah, we don't seem to want to pick up maximum points against Man United, but they are shambles right now. So it would be nice if we could bounce back and win, but my confidence levels are not really that high considering what I saw the last two games against Arsenal and West Ham. I'm just like, not sure about us right now.
So why do you think that that happened, right? Because like I saw us play, we had a fantastic game against Southampton. We
Mm.
have a brilliant game against Real Madrid, even though it wasn't enough. I thought that we were so superior. And then it like for me, it just feels like the team put everything that they had into that Real Madrid game, and then now they look like super leggy, super tired, like they're moving the ball slowly. But what do you think is the reason for the poor performances against Arsenal and West Ham?
Um, I feel like I don't know whether to put it down to motivation, but it's certainly that Real Madrid game definitely really, really hurt them. They were 3-0 up. They were definitely in ascendancy, and they obviously got themselves up again for the Palace game because it was a semi-final. But I just feel like Premier League, we kind of all just want the season to kind of get wrapped up in the Premier League. There's not really anything to fight for. We're just trying to stay third, not get ourselves dragged into a conversation for top four, and that's about it. So it's difficult maybe to get up for these. But also, I think tactically against Arsenal, we got it horribly wrong. At West Ham, we had a lot more balance in midfield with Jorginho and Kante, so that there was actually some balance there as opposed to Arsenal, where we just had no midfield whatsoever. But even against West Ham's B team, with no Rice, with no Bowen, no Antonio, no Zuma, Diop, Bonner, we still can't break them down.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. When teams sit back, Chelsea really struggle to break them down. It's because we're missing so many different attributes and profiles in this team. We don't have great dribblers out wide. We don't have any real elite passes centrally. We don't have the two wing backs or full backs that can cross the ball now or that can attack the spaces because they're very quick and dynamic. So we're just missing so much. And I did a watch along for that, and to try and watch us create chances against West Ham, I just wanted to pull my eyes out. Like, luckily the Formula One race was on at the same time. I could watch that while I was trying to watch Chelsea with two screens because we didn't create anything. Kante had like a shot from range. I think Trevor had a shot from range. Werner had a cross that almost hit Akai's head, but like it's literally just you're just like clawing to scraps at this point. It's really rough to watch. So West Ham are organised; they're a good team, but we really should have been better attacking wise, but we're not. We're just not a great team going forward at the moment in terms of our creativity. So it's not really any surprise, really. It's just what it is right now.
It makes me a little bit worried because it's not the first time that I feel like we don't normally get like late winners, but it's not the first time. Like recently, we got a late winner against Newcastle as well. And like this game, those two games could have easily been draws. We could have dropped 4 points and we would be in the top four race. And it's for me, like there's still so much to fight for this season
Yeah.
because one, we're in the FA Cup final against this Liverpool side is like probably one of like the best sides that I have ever witnessed in football. Not to be like overly dramatic, but I think they're like up there with like
Yeah.
one of the best.
100%.
In and and like top four or like the top four races, like we're not so far into third that I feel very comfortable. Like
Mm.
we're only I think 5 points now, but it could ease if we lose a game or if we draw, like we're right there with them. So like I think that they should really fight. But like you said, I think it's been so many games. I think Chelsea specifically has played more games than I saw at one point we played more games than any team in the top five leagues.
Mm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's still the case this
Yeah.
season. And so the players must be tired. You have a lot of players that are we have a lot of injuries, maybe some unrest as well because of
Yeah.
the uncertainty around the future, players who are leaving. I thought that Christensen looked like he's kind of like checked out a bit as
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
And
60, we're on 65 points. It's
only
the gap to the top isn't great. It's not great at all. And the gap to Arsenal is 5 points with a game in hand. So it could be comfortable if we win, but we have some difficult games coming up because obviously Man United, I know they're poor right now. They can't defend, they can't go forward, they can't keep the ball, they can't seem to do anything, but it's still away from home to Man United. So we have to pay it some sort of attention. And Everton away next after that is difficult because literally they're fighting for their lives and they're currently in the relegation zone. So I
yeah.
don't know. It's we got some tricky games coming up, and I think we do have a situation where we played a lot of games, and then our squad depth is not as strong as it needs to be to handle all that, and then we've had injuries as well. So it seems like every minute somebody else is injured. Cover's out, and Rudiger's been out, James is out. It's just a constant rotation of injuries. So I do think we're struggling in that regard, but that's why I just want the season to come to an end in the Premier League because it's just
Yeah.
we're gonna peter out. We're not gonna finish in style. We're not gonna play incredible football. We're not gonna win all of our games. We're going to stumble over the line, to be honest.
The
So
players
just
need a rest. Like I feel, especially after the Euro, like having the Champions League run last year, then the Euros, and then this season, and everything was condensed again. Like
yeah,
they're gonna need a rest to reset. And I think it's going to be like I don't know what the schedule is like or if it's
mm,
come out, but I think I saw that it's even starting like a week earlier because of the World Cup. So it's going to be like crazy, a crazy schedule next season as well. But like you said, like two games that on paper, technically, I feel like we should win because Man United aren't in good form, but like for some reason, every single time that they're not in good form, they show up against us and are able to get points off of us. And Everton, like you said, will be fighting for their lives. I think they'll be hard to break down. I think they'll probably just try to defend.
yeah,
And be
yeah,
difficult to
literally,
break down. Uh, but I do think that we should be like winning that game. But looking at the Man United game, we've kind of seen like the same starting three, Werner, Kai Havertz, and Mason Mount. And do you think that, well, two questions really. How do you
mm.
think that United are going to set up? Do you think that they're going to sit back and just try to counter us? Or do you think that they're going to have maybe a little bit more space? And then given how they're going to play, who would your front three be in this match?
I think they will sit back because they can't keep the ball, so it's not really going to be an option for them. I think as long as we start Jorginho and Kante in that midfield, um, then we should dominate possession. I think with Ruben at right wing back again and Mason in the 10, then that's four players to kind of come centrally and dominate possession and outnumber them as well. So for me, a front three's got to be Kai, Werner, and Mount. I don't want to see anything other than that. I think Lukaku had a good impact against West Ham. He came off the bench, pinned Dawson, got the penalty, but I gave him I gave him that start in against Arsenal in my preview. Tuchel also started him then, and then he didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it. Like how many more chances do you want to get really to start in these big games? So yeah, I think for me, go with that same front three until just try and build up some sort of form and chemistry, because that's probably the front three we're going to go with against Liverpool. Pulisic comes off the bench, gets a goal as well. But I wouldn't start him just yet. I think I'd stick with the same three because it is a bigger pitch, and I know Werner will probably definitely struggle at the bridge, but hopefully Old Trafford will be able to split open something.
Yeah, and the thing, Timo, I just want to say, like, even though I don't, did he? No, he didn't have a goal contribution versus West Ham, but I feel like he's just been like so much higher on confidence, and it's like really nice to see because he's like actually taking some shots and like
Mm,
dribbling and like really like he always had like a high work effort, but now I think he's like believing himself a bit more, and it's giving him like this confidence in his game that I feel like we haven't really seen like while he's been at Chelsea,
yeah.
and that's been super nice, I think. And so yeah, I agree with that. I thought maybe you have like maybe we might see Pulisic come in just because it's a lot of games and like somewhere there's going to need to be rest. And if you got the winner, and if United are going to sit back and you need a dribbler, maybe you start Pulisic and bring on Werner.
Mm,
Uh, for me, it's like super 50-50. I don't really have a preference either way. It's more just being cognizant of
yeah.
the fact that players might need to be rested because we do have like a couple of games. I think we have we have like a double game week. Well,
Mm.
from PL, we have a double game week in game week
Oh,
Thursday.
okay. You guys are still doing that, fam. I'm impressed.
Well, I
I've
kind of like
completely
gave
checked
up
out.
like giving people tips because I feel like I'm failing and I'm kind of just going a little bit rogue now
Mm,
because I'm dropping points every week.
yeah.
Like last week, I think I was below the average, and I was like, oh, God.
Yeah,
Uh,
hurt your
but
soul.
yeah, it's a lot of games, and even a point that I was going to make was that like a lot of people are asking like, oh, why is Reece James playing at right center back? Why isn't he playing at right wing back? And
Mm,
because of the injuries, and maybe this isn't the best transition, but I have been thinking about it for a while, so I'm going to speak on it a little bit.
yeah.
Um, like Thomas Tuchel mentioned in one of his press conferences, I don't remember ahead of which game, that playing as a right center back requires like a lot less physicality, like because you don't have to run as much, so it doesn't require like as much strain on your body. Of course, like any
Yeah.
position is pretty physical, but right wing back or left wing back specifically requires a lot, and so they don't want to injure Reece James because we saw him play. He was doing fantastic, and then he got re-injured. So
Mm,
if anybody's wondering, oh, why is Ruben playing at right wing back and not Reece James or Aspie, that's why. It's because he's still kind of like trying to get back from injury.
mm.
Speaking of the defense, Rudiger should be back, right?
He should be back. I think he trained today, so I'm hoping he's back. I'll put him in my team personally when I do my preview. So I think he's indispensable, and he's the kind of player. Yes, he may be going to Real Madrid, but the fan base can't afford to turn their back on everybody that's leaving, because if they do that, then we're not going to have any defenders left. So yeah, you just got to just stick with Rudiger, let him play, and then he goes to Real Madrid. But I think he's crucial in this game. Um, and he'll be crucial even more against Everton, I think, especially at their place when it becomes a lot more of a fight. But yeah, I think for me, the only player I'm really watching on their side is probably Ronaldo. He's the one that seems to turn up and come with the goals. Outside of that, there's no Sancho, there's quite a few players missing, and it'll be probably maybe Rashford and Elanga. But yeah, I think even Bruno's in terrible form as well. Missed a penalty at the weekend. There's no Pogba, so it's quite a weak team. We should really be doing the business, but I think for us, I'm just very excited to see what we do when the new owners come in, and whether we turn this team around a bit. I think with Rudiger going and Christensen going, it gives us the opportunity to maybe look at a back four next season. Because we're
Hmm.
not gonna have as many defenders anyway on the roster. So it's an opportunity to maybe switch things about. We could never really do it this season with the squad that we have. We changed to a back four a few times, but it was never going to be everlasting, because we don't have the midfield or the really defense to play that back four consistently without leaking goals. So Yeah, I think next season will be interesting to try and see if they can shuffle that around, and maybe they'll go with more like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. More
Yeah,
often.
it's gonna be super interesting to see like if we bring anybody in because I saw
Mm,
links for Jules Conde,
yeah.
that he's like the first target or whatever. And
Mm,
as we know, like both Reece James and Ben Chilwell can play in a back four, so it would make sense
yeah.
if we could get the right personnel. I'm so excited to see Ben Chilwell back on a football pitch, like for Chelsea, whenever that does happen. Like,
Telling you, if Chilwell comes back, it would be lovely. If he was at the same level he was, I do think he's going to maybe need a bit of time.
no.
But yeah, I mean, even still, we do need to look at that area. But when I saw Emerson potentially returning because um, they can't really afford his wages, then I started to get worried again about this left back situation. I'm starting to think we're not going to probably be able to bring in anyone in. And I saw Alonso's quotes as well, and he loves being here. So yeah, great,
Well,
happy for him.
I saw something. I'm not sure like how this plays out, but with the ownership situation, like I don't think like as we can't conduct business, even if teams have an automatic if they trigger like I think it was Bakayoko, I think
Mm, yeah,
like had like an automatic clause that was going to be triggered with AC Milan based on number of appearances, and he like hasn't played since January because of that. And if they have a clause like that, or if they have an option to buy, like I think Leon does with Emerson, I
yeah,
think I'm
but
100% sure.
it's the
If they
wages
have
of
an
these
option to
players.
buy, I don't know if they can buy until this ownership is sorted. Like
Exactly.
I don't know how
Yeah,
that works.
yeah.
you
No,
know?
late May is when it's meant to get done. So until then, nothing, no ins and no outs. I don't think until then. Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's what I was thinking. I really thought that we were going to know by now, but
Yeah, same.
anyways, yeah, I like check it like every day. I refresh Twitter. Like, is today going to be the day that some news shows up? Um, but which is to wrap up this stream. I promised you guys it was going to be short and sweet. What is your score prediction for the match?
Score prediction would be 1-0 Chelsea. I think, you know, as many individual errors as we've had in defence, we have the potential to keep a clean sheet if we defend properly. I think Trevor, Silva, and Rudiger have got to be the back three with Ruben and Alonso at the wing back positions. And as long as I think it could be a boring game, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be very entertaining. I think it's going to be a little bit of a boring game. And then we maybe just nick it by the odd goal. And that's the best you can maybe hope for. I think both these teams don't play the best football right now. And I don't think Man United are going to be very expansive considering they have a lot of players missing, and they just don't have a very good environment right now. They don't seem to want to even be there, half of them. So they're probably just going to come with some really dead energy.
I don't know. Like for some reason, I feel like every time they play Chelsea, like they'll put
They
together.
wake up.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, no,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for 2-1.
Mm,
I see us winning, but I feel like Ronaldo is going to score. And for
okay.
Chelsea, I'm gonna say Havertz scores
Mm,
and maybe Timo. Maybe he gets a goal. Let's see.
maybe we'll see.
Let's,
I hope. I pray.
I
Just
hope
somebody
so.
score. That's somebody. Anybody.
Someone score so that we win this game, please.
Anybody.
So that I can be happy. I'm always so depressed after after Chelsea losses. Like it's just so hard to take.
Bro,
Everybody,
they tried to depress me after a Chelsea win against West Ham. Bloody hell. They were that. They were that.
everybody,
They were that boring.
everybody here keeps asking me like because they know I went to the Real Madrid game, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, how was the game?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I'd rather not talk about it. Like, I'm over this, please."
Are you going to
Please
Real Madrid versus Man City, the return leg?
Nah, no, I'm
No?
not. I'm not. The tickets at the Bernabeu are so freaking expensive. Like
Really?
I splurged because it was my team. You know, it's like
Fair
imagine
enough.
how good this is going to feel if we beat them and like it's confirmed like there and
Yeah.
we were like
Yeah.
so freaking close to it.
Yeah.
Um, but since it's not,
Yeah, fair enough.
I bought a trip to
It's gonna
London.
be a great game though. It's gonna be a mad game.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be. Yesterday's thriller was just like
Madness.
ridiculous.
Insane.
I was like, I predicted a 2-1 City win, and it was like 7 goals. I was like, what
Mm.
the hell?
It's mad. It's mad.
It's
But
nuts. It's not.
yeah, I mean, top teams when they come together in the Champions League, it's always good. Real Madrid, PSG, Real Madrid, Chelsea. So it's been entertaining this year. To be fair,
Yeah, it
not gonna
has
lie.
been. I'm low-key happy that we don't have to face City because
Yeah,
then they would have that the whole like all of the
the
stories would be like,
revenge. Yeah,
yeah, City are going to get revenge on Chelsea for the win in the Champions League final. Like I like that would be if we beat them, it would be fine. But just like putting myself through that, I was like, oh
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Of
Hundred
course, I want to
percent.
be in a semifinal, but then I was like, oh, but it's against
Losing a
City.
semi-final is worse than a quarter, of course. So,
Yeah, exactly, and against City, like on top of that, so it's like, well,
exactly. Yeah.
I and I was like, I don't know who I'm rooting for in this match. Like, I don't know.
I
I
want
don't.
Real Madrid and Villarreal. That's the final I want. Both Spanish teams.
Oh, that's so. I mean, I don't want an English team in the final, but I feel like that would be boring as well.
Mm,
Like, I think Real
I'm happy
Madrid
with that.
Liverpool would be like the most
Yeah.
entertaining.
I'm just picking whatever keeps me
Villarreal
sane.
should win. Should
Yeah,
win.
whatever helps me stay sane is what I'm picking is a Spanish final. I don't know no Real Madrid and Villarreal fans, so it's perfect. Literally.
Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little match preview. Let me know your thoughts. Who you think's going to be starting in this game? We basically gave you a starting 11 without saying like we basically did give it. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
it's pretty
Basically.
inferred,
Mm.
even if we didn't spell it out. And let me know what your score prediction is and like how you're feeling about this game because like I'm feeling pretty nervous, and I always feel nervous, but
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to count United out because they always do something against us. But Matisse, I know you're exhausted. I'll let you go, but let everybody know where they can find you.
MAH is the place. All you can eat Chelsea's out now with Eunice and Miz. We've got a stream on Twitch for Liverpool Villarreal, but I think after Man United's watch along tomorrow is obviously that's going to be interesting. That's when the party starts. The review will come and everything. So hopefully the party starts. The beating your big rivals party is the only party we can throw until the FA Cup final. We have nothing else to celebrate. So just further put them in the mud. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I just pray that we win, man, because everybody else is beating them. So it's kind of embarrassing if we don't.
We will. We will. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the stream, and yeah, have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time you're watching this. And until next week, we're out. Bye.